Alright guys, let's work for today's problem. Let's see what we have. Okay, let me minimize that tab. Let's see, LeetCode. Okay, so we are given a binary string, okay? A 0 indexed binary string and 2 integers. In the beginning, you stand at index 0, which is equal to character 0, okay? You can move from index I. You can move from index I to index j if the following conditions are fulfilled. If I plus minimum jump and j, if j index is within the minimum jump and less than equal to minimum of. Okay, so as long as it's within the bounds. So this means okay, let's think. Let me check my audio is on. Yeah, audio is on. Okay. So what this statement means is, let's say if we had, like, for example, let me write 0 1 1 0 1 0, length is what, 6, s dot length equals to 6, right? So what it means is, if we can jump to j as long as if our minimum jump, let's leave our minimum jump is 2. So we start at 0, so we can jump from 0 1 I equal from here, minimum here, and max is, and minimum of I plus max jump. That means the max we can go to the right as long as it's not crossing the bounds, and s bracket j equals to 0. So okay, you can only jump from 0 to another 0 within the bounds. Okay, return true if we can reach index s length of so number of ones and zeros. Does that make a difference with? Okay, let's where is my thing? Okay, let's look at this example. For example, if we have 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 and minimum jump is 2 and max is 3. Okay, so what do we have to do? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, so first condition I could be if we could reach. Okay, that's the first base condition is if the last digit is 1, we'll return false, right? So let's have integer n equals to, oh, I have a string s, so s dot length, s dot png length, right? If s dot char, the correct char at what, n minus 1 equal to, if the last character is 1, return false. That's the base, because we can never reach if it's 0, right? That should solve some of our test cases. And now, so we are given, we start at 1. Okay, so we start at 0. It's given, right? Si is either constraint, s of 0 is 0. Okay, that's correct. Okay, so we're given a range. So I plus minimum jump, right? I plus minimum jump. What does that mean? So if our I here is 0, minimum jump becomes I plus that becomes 2, and maximum jump becomes 3. So if I have 0 at in between these two, right? So what, let's for teacher I equals to 0, I must be less than what, n minus 1, as less than n and I plus plus. We do integer min equals to I plus minimum jump, and integer max, oh sorry, if s dot, if the character at I equal to, if I have 0 character, then we create minimum integer left equals to I plus minimum jump, right? And integer right equals to I plus max jump. Now, so now we have what? So we have our minimum is 2, right? And right equals to math dot min of I plus max jump or comma s dot, because we don't want to go out of bounds, s dot, oh sorry, instead of s dot length I just do n minus 1, right? Here as well, we also don't want to go out of bounds, dot min of I plus minimum jump comma n minus 1, whatever value is correct. Okay, so we have our bounds. So let's say if we had instead of 3 we had 2 and 4 index, so now I have to check within, and then what do we do? And then for integer j equals to left, we start at the left and j must be less than equal to right. So we loop from left to right, and then we do what? We move our j pointer, and then we see, so we are at here, right? And then we check if at any point so if at any if s dot char at what j value equals to 0, if we find a 0, what do? We change our I equals to j, right? Okay, so what happens here is if we start at 2 and max jump is 3, for in j equals to 2, j must be less than equal to the max value 3 and j plus plus. If char at j we have 1, so this loop won't run, then we go to the next. Right, I equals to j, else let me have integer, let me have what do we do? Should I keep another variable here? Because what if there is no 1? Let's say there was 1 here, so I check this loop doesn't satisfy, that means we shouldn't check it further, right? So what if I have a boolean here, boolean valid equals to false, valid equals to true, if not valid return false, right? And at the end of the loop, let me have integer index equals to 0, right? So if I give char at I, then index equals to j here, right? And then return index equal to n minus 1, yes. Is this correct? Let's see. Okay. Case 2. Okay, let's run this case. Okay, where is our thing? Okay, so we're given 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, and range is 2 and 3, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's try to follow. Let me open my. Let's try to debug this. Let me open this. Oh, this is on my Git. I don't want to work on this. Let's. Is this also on Git? No. Okay. Let me create a new package. LeetCode testing. New Java class. Testing. So what do I have? Let me. Oh, why is this not working? Okay, where else I have an error? So can reach. Okay, let me choose ChatGPT to fill the classes. There is so something on LeetCode and debug it myself on TLE. Correct me, set up the environment. This is what I have in TLE. I think create an object in main and pass some values. Okay, let's correct our IJ. Okay, what is our, let's try to run our code. Let me minimize this. Case is, 1 second, let me minimize that. Let me bring our IntelliJ here so we can see properly. Okay, Windows. Okay. So the case is 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 triple 1 0. Right, let me debug it. Okay. Oh, how do I run the debugger? Current file. Okay. So when we pass that, okay, length is 8. Okay. So that one passes. We go at index. We keep an index 0, which is correct. Let me move it here. So as I is 0, our left becomes minimum jump is 2, I is 0. So this will become 2 and 3, right? So this becomes 2, minimum jump is, and yeah, it should become 3. Yeah, that's correct. And we do a valid false. Okay, so what do we do? So we have left 2, right 3. So we go from j is equal to 2 and less than equal to 3 and j plus plus. What happens here is if s dot char at I and j equal to if 0, so we have 1 there, so this won't work. So we go back to the loop where our j becomes 3 and we find the 0, right? So we found the 0 and then we change our I to this 0, right? I becomes 3, valid becomes true, and our index is at 3. Okay, that's correct. And then this loop ends and we go back to our I. If valid is okay, that's fine. And now I is 3, right? And now the next step would be I is 3, right? I equals to 0 1 2 3. Okay, 1 second. I think this is where a bug is. Go back. Oh shit. Debug it. Okay, let's go to the part. Okay, our I becomes 3. Oh, then our I plus plus happens, right? Okay, so that's okay, I think that's what I have to fix. J plus plus, and should I do J minus 1? Okay, let's do it should become J. Okay, let me fix here first. So it should become I equals to J minus 1, since we do I plus plus at the end of loop. Okay, so let's debug it again. Okay, up to the point where we get our i's to. Okay, now we start at I equals to 3. So 0 1 2 3, that is correct. We have 0. So again we do 3, we go 5 and 6, right? And then boolean is valid as false. It should return false. Okay, so I think that was our error there. We're skipping over 1. Okay, let's try to, oh, let me minimize this. Let me get back to our Chrome jump game. So it should be J minus 1, since we add 1 to I, the end of loop. Okay, let's see. Time limit exceeded. Okay, how many? Okay, let's see if our thing was correct or no. Is there a hint given? Consider for each redeemable index interval is I plus 1. That's what I did. let's see how did we sure, this is my attempt. I got TLE error. Okay. This one, then the reachable 0 leads to a dead end while the other reachable 0 works. Yes. I see. So I have to repeatedly scanning. So for every position is there any reachable index? Okay, so now what's happening here is yes, from maxJump. Yes. Even without the logic itself can fail. Okay, so we get the range and then we have a reachable array. Okay, so we want to scan. Reachable. Okay. So what's happening here is we create a reachable array, okay, and then we keep a window count. For I equals to 1, I must be less than n I plus plus. If y do we n reachable, remove index. If I reachable of, so reachable of, so what's happening here is first we have a reachable array of size n. Initially first is a reachable, so we make it true, and fi minus minimum jump is greater than equal to 0 and reachable of that, and reachable is true. Okay, now I need this navigations the head kind of scan position I, a valid previous jumps are I minus. Okay, previous jumps are to jump. Yes, okay. Okay, so only those indexes can jump to it. The previous jump, how could I? Okay, well, imagine moving the valid range. So index. If text entry. So what does it mean by fi minus? Next just became invalid. This is a little confusing. I got the new part, so we are removing the old index. Now for I equals to 6, old valid range started at 3, meaning anything before 3 is valid. 3 is invalid, which so formula I minus if so the sliding electron keeping right side. Down windows. Okay, let's go through the code again. If it's true in window bound, false. Okay. If and then here when I is 2 minus this is a little confusing. Let's close this and then let me go back to our thing. Okay, so let me reset it. So what they're saying is okay, so let's see. Okay, so what are we doing? We have integer n equals to s dot, we get the length of the string, right? Then we create integer, create a boolean array equals to new boolean array, so default is false, right? And then the first condition is if the char at n minus 1 equal to 1, sorry, we return false, right? And then make it visited of initialize it to true, right? And then we loop. Let me have an integer count equals to 0 for integer I equals to 1, I must be less than n, and I plus plus. What are we doing? We're checking if I minus minimum jump is greater than equal to 0 and our visited bracket I equals to, and visited I is true. So for example here what do? We make we do the count plus plus, right? So what happens here is, so from 0, so for example for here our minimum jump was 2, so when this will true is 0 1 2, max jump is 3, so it will be true for our max jump, right? Sorry, here it should be I minus minimum jump. And if the index is leaving, what that happens is if I plus max, I plus max, I minus max jump, right? So I minus max jump minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, and instead of, we have to have visible and that if I minus max jump minus 1, and then we do count minus minus, and then we do visible bracket I equals to if s dot char at I equals to 0. If the character is 0 and our count is greater than 0, right? And then we return visible bracket and minus 1. Data size n. Right. Oh, sorry, if s dot char at the small errors are like annoying a little bit. Okay, but we did learn these sliding window concept a little bit. Alright, I'll see you guys in my next video.